Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Xah Talk Show. We are going to code wolfram language today. Wolfram language. Today we're gonna code serious wolfram language coding. So this would be of interest to those of you who are into wolfram language, Mathematica, doing geometry plane curves. So we are going to write wolfram language code to create a general purpose code to create caustics, which is given a plane curve and given a light source. The light source shine rays onto the curve and reflect off the curve. So this is an illustration of caustics. It's called caustics. So it's the study of optical properties is called caustics. So we are going to create a general purpose code to draw these reflection rays or refraction rays for any given curve. So we started to do it last week, and here's the code. So let's show the code. It runs, but it needs refinement, okay? So starting wolfram language, if you don't know already, we did a lot introduction to wolfram language. So, okay, so in case you don't know, let me take 2 minutes to introduce you guys to wolfram language, okay? Wolfram language is the most powerful advanced programming system. It was known as computer algebra system 30 years ago, but wolfram language expanded so it can do today you can think of it is like 10 times more powerful than Python. Okay, can do neural network, machine learning, solving equations and derivatives, integrals, and number theory, differential equations, all mathematics, prime numbers, cryptanalysis, and machine learning and graph theory. So it's like you can kind of think of it as 10 times more powerful than Python, the entire Python libraries and stuff. Okay. So, and you can but however, you have to pay like very expensive, few $1,000s a year or something like, but today they have a kind of free version you can download for free. So all you have to do is just go to my website, xahli.info, okay? xahli.info. So you go to my website, xahli.info, okay? Then you go to wolfram language. So I have lots of mathematics wolfram language tutorial. Go there, wolfram language tutorial by Xah Li, my name, okay? You'll find it on the web. And the wolfram language download, so there is download, go there and go to this website, wolfram.com/developer. So you can download the wolfram engine for free. You need to turn on JavaScript, you need to give your email and agreement, and stuff. Then you can use it for free. Or I recommend you just buy it. I bought it like 30 years ago beginning in 1992. It is my first programming language actually, and I studied it. I coded it every day, few hours a day, for the next, for like 7 years in 1990s. After 2 years, it got me a job at Wolfram Research. So I've been coding Wolfram language for 30 years. Okay, so so I did a lot of videos, like tons of videos. So you download it and also read my article, the differences, and okay, you can also get it from Raspberry Pi. Differences between Wolfram engine, Mathematica, Wolfram language, Wolfram script, like what are they? Why is so many different names? So you can read about it, and you want to download the Jupyter extension for Jupyter so that you can have graphical interface. Okay, like we do a lot of graphics. Okay, so that's kind of, so you want to download these, okay? That's kind of the kind of an introduction, and I have done over 100 videos on Wolfram language. So some of the best ones can be seen on this page, Wolfram language tutorial by video, Xah, or search on my YouTube, okay? So I've done 100 videos on Wolfram language. And particularly, fascinating, the most beautiful, for example, are these things, okay? For example, here you can see the power of Wolfram language. So you see, that's a code, Shift Enter, then here is a result. Amazing. Is that beautiful? It's just amazing, okay? Control scroll to like, wait, I want to control, Shift, wait, too many devices, trackball and mouse. So what is the so you can, okay, so yeah, so you can, you see, then you control, then you see, beautiful. You can magnify, you can zoom, you can pan the graphics, you see. So I don't want it too large, so wait. Yeah, I have sticky keys on. That's why you hear the beep. When I press control, it held the control. That's why it seems confusing. So you see, fantastic. This is my favorite thing, geometry. This is called inversion. In fact, we coded live 3 years ago in 2023. Okay, so you see the power of Wolfram language. Okay, that's a short introduction. So Shift Control N to make it typeset, so you can see all these became fractions and so on. Okay, so that's an introduction. Okay, but today we're gonna really, I've been wanting to code this. Let's just focus on coding these caustics. Okay, hello. If you are here, say hi. Hello, NHQ. Have you been on this channel before? Have you used Wolfram language before? Are you a student, or are you interested in mathematics or something? Are you learning math, or are you maybe a professional, a mathematician, or are you a carpenter? And are you in Africa, or are you in Arab, Middle East, or are you in Japan? Like, who are you? Just for chat. Okay. So if you are here, say hi. If you are not here, play this video at 1.5 speed. Okay, video check, audio check. Okay, let's start to code. Okay, so we've talked about this kind of introduction to death. So we wanna do let's start to, so from now on, from this point on, I'm gonna code, and this is gonna be like serious Wolfram language technicalities. Okay, like really deep. So most people will not understand it. Okay. By the way, so this curve is called nephroid. When you roll a circle outside of the circle, such that the rolling circle is half the size, half the radius of the fixed circle, then you put a dot on the rim of the circle, a chalk or a pencil. It traces out this curve. It's called nephroid. Okay, and it can also be formed if you shine a light, parallel rays, onto a circle. The reflection, you see this reflection will form the nephroid. In other words, we say the envelope of the reflected rays is nephroid. Okay, is this nephroid? So there are so many ways to generate it. And today we're gonna code this. Okay, now of course I already have the code. You just do that. So for example, copy, go back here. Let's run this. Okay, Shift Enter. That's too huge. 125. Okay, that's good enough. So you see, so paste that. So Shift Enter. So you see, beautiful. You know, I have random color on. You see, random color. So every time I run this code, I get a new picture of different color. Fantastic. So, but this code requires my package. Search for it, you'll find it on the web. On GitHub, Plane Curve Plot by Xah. Okay, but I don't want packaged version. I want the general, you know, so people don't have to download the package. People can just run the code and show the graphics. Okay, so here's the code. So it's gonna be much longer, you see. But you know, 50 lines. Okay, so you see. So if we run this, run it, you see, it's not done yet. Last time we started to do it, it's not done. We're gonna continue this. Okay, so from now on, it's gonna be advanced. This is fantastic coffee. This is milk and instant coffee and honey and some coca. So far, so good. So far, so good. So far, so good. Okay, so let's begin coding. So let's do. Okay. So this is for people who are interested in wolfram language or already know something about it. Well, we want to go to now for it. Okay, wait. Yeah, so we're gonna go here. That's the page. So what is this? Okay, so make a backup, pop this out. So here's a code. So I need to start to, okay, this is gonna be boring. Okay, I don't know if I can explain too much because you know it's not it's you know somewhat it's not beginners for sure. So you'll just be watching me code and boring. Okay, so again we are trying to make this for example, you see this shrinked thing, you can make it better by specify problem. It's not anyway. Okay, so let's focus on the code. So the most important thing is this caustic GP. Okay, that is the usage. Okay. Okay, let me type this out. Deep interest in wolfram language, Aka, Mathematica. Okay. Okay, so this, yeah, okay. Every time I do this, I realized if I am going to explain this, then I will never code it. You know, I'm just gonna spend 1 hour explaining what it's doing. So then we'll start again. So I'm not gonna. I can't do explain. I just need to code this. Okay. Because if I explain, that's not gonna be finished. Okay. But anyway, so this is the key function. Okay, it draws the caustic lines and it needs several improvements. Points, tangent vector, ray origin. So it takes 1, 2, 3, 4 parameters, a list of points, a list of tangent vectors, and one ray origin, which is a pair of numbers, and length. Okay, now I don't want length to be part of this function, so I want a new function where it doesn't specify length, but that may create efficiency problems. You see, you got efficiency considerations because, so what this function do is that when you call it, you give a list of points. That's the points on the curve, for example, that. Then you give a list of tangent vectors at those points. So there is a tangent vector. So let me show you this image. Okay. Well, I started to explain, but that means I'm never gonna code nothing. Where's my plot range? Oh, there's no plot range. Okay, so you need to specify graphics caustic table. What is this? Okay, so you see it's calling the function, the caustic line, a list of points on the curve, and the list of the derivatives, then the the list of derivatives, then the origin of the light source, then length. Okay, then you need to say plot. Okay, so let's say 9 is the length. Okay, so let's put that there. Let's open a new one, paste it. Okay, let's make it 125, 150, 125. Okay, so yeah, shift enter. Okay, so you can kind of see that's not good. Let's see, you see the length is a problem. Let's say you kind of need the plot range. Yeah, okay. 99, then you need to say plot range. Plot range limits the graphics to a specific region. Okay, so typically you can say -1 and 1, -1 and 1 multiplied by 2. That will give you a rectangular region. Shift enter. Okay, so that's not big enough. So let's say 9. Okay, so let's say what? Okay, you see, so that's what we want. God. Okay, so by the way, I got a haircut, so my wife cut it for me. Now it's a bit hot. Okay, what you gonna do now? What are you gonna do with that? So we understand the purpose of this function. And now, but what does this function, what it does? So width, so it's got some local constants. Then, okay, then the major thing is a if statement. Okay, if statement. if the origin ray origin is equals to 0, that is the that is kind of the let's use get the numerical result. So if the ray origin is at 0, then you do this, okay? Otherwise, you do this. So you need to know the ray origin. Why? Because it saves computation, I believe. You see, so you got two cases. One is that, the other one is that, okay? So you can see there are two cases there. You see this if statement. If the ray origin is at 0, so 0 means here. So it then you reflect, let's see. So norm length greater than length 2. Yeah, you see, this is kind of redundant, but it somewhat make it faster, I believe. You see, you are drawing a line. If the origin is the light source ray origin is at 0, 0, the length of it, norm means the length. So if it's a 0 vector, means it's origin, which, origin means 0, 0 coordinate. Okay, then, so if the origin is at 0, 0 coordinate, then you create a bunch of line from 0, 0 to normalize. Let's see, what are you doing? You are trying to map thread. This is the first argument. So from draw a line from the point from 0, 0 to the normal vector of the curve, then multiply by length 2, okay? So what is the length 2? Okay, length 2 is equals to the absolute value of length. What? Okay, that's just length. Oh, okay, because length can be negative. When length is negative, you draw the refraction instead of the reflection. That is the by design of this code. But I didn't document it, did we? Did I? Each line length is x length, including the reflected portion. Yeah, I think if you specify a negative value, it draw refraction instead. So right now it's drawing reflection. Okay, right now it's drawing reflection. This is not good. Okay, this is a sign. Okay, we don't want sign. Okay, so first of all, let's go back to fix that. We don't want, you see, this is drawing a sine curve, x sine. So if you change it to let's say 3 to 6, let's say 0 to 6, then plot range from from 0 to 6, and y is, let's say, 2 of that. Okay, copy all, go back here, select all, paste, shift enter. You see, can you see it's a sine curve? You see the sine curve goes that. Let's do that. Okay, plot, that's right, sine. not 129. What stupid default? 0 to 6. Okay. You need to add that. Okay, so you need to show this graphics and that, two of them. Okay. Now copy all, select all, paste, shift enter. Fantastic. Can you actually see the sine curve? Actually, it looks beautiful. I'll just leave it like that. You see, so now this is doing reflection, the rays coming from above. Now let's make the rays, let's say 3, 2. Let's make the ray at 3, 2 point, okay? So let's make the ray at 3, 2. So 3 and 2, okay? Does that make sense? Copy all. Wait, copy all. Select all, paste, shift enter. Fantastic. See, fantastic, kind of beautiful. Let's make these, let's say at 4, 4, 3. Okay, let's 4, 3. Select all, paste, shift enter. Fantastic. Now let's make the line color to be cyan, so it looks more like light. Okay, so you want the line color, so you want to do it, so this return graphics. Okay, so you can see this part. Okay, that is cyan a color? Yes, you can see highlight. Okay, so select all. Actually, we can just like copy this part, paste it here, shift enter. Fantastic and beautiful. Okay, fantastic and beautiful. And so again, if you guys are here, say hi. Okay, I love to see your comments. If you guys are here, say hi. Okay. Okay, so now let's see. Yeah. Okay. So we got the color. We got the color. We got this. So this if statements. You see, it's trying to kind of save time. I don't think we want to do that. If ray origin is equals to 0, okay? So basically it's trying to save time. That's why. Okay, let's see if highlight that. Okay, so you see, okay, man, that's right. So we want, this is more generalized version. Okay, so I don't think we need this, remove this kind of optimization, because if you really want to optimize, if you are really concerned about speed, you should use a compile function. You know, there is a compile function in Wolfram language that will make your function very fast for basically numerical computation. So our code here, which is written 30 years ago, I don't think it's not necessary. I mean, this, make sure, okay, make sure before we delete it. So the code is basically the same thing. Okay. Okay, we decided we don't need this if statement. Okay, delete that, delete that, delete. Okay, we don't need this if statement. Delete. Okay, now simpler. Oh my god, the code is now actually much simpler. Just that. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so what's the next thing to do? So let me think about. Now, when the length is negative, it generates refraction. Okay, I'm pretty sure. So we can try it here. You see, these are reflections. The light rays reflected. Okay, let's see. Can we make it red? Let's see the Darth Vader color. So I don't like, I like red. Okay, Shift Enter. Fantastic. Okay. Now here, make a copy. Here, use, if you want refraction instead of reflection, then you say here. You give a negative length for this caustic line, GP. The last argument, the caustic line GP. The GP means graphics primitive. That was my naming convention. Shift Enter. You see, now it shows refraction. Can you see the difference? You see reflection, refraction. They, if you don't know, like suppose this is a horizon, the ground mirror. So if you have a light coming from here, it hit here and bounce it off there, right? Hit and bounce off. Now, what does refraction mean? So that's reflection, okay? Hit here and bounce off there. That's reflection. Now, what is refraction? Refraction is basically whatever the bounce off line, the other part of the bounce off line. So it become there. You see, so do I make sense? Okay, maybe not. So if I do, let's see, a copy. Let me do a screenshot, like let's do a lecture. Open with photo snipping tool. Let's draw. Okay, let me show you refraction. Okay, so Lection. Okay, so that's reflection. Do that's refraction. Okay, so the way it works is that if you have a line and if you have a light ray going this way, okay, that's reflection. This is refraction. Okay, does that make sense? Save this. Yes. override. Now close. Okay, reflection and refraction. Okay, now back to the, so you can kind of see here too. Now back to the code, So we didn't document here, so we want to say we didn't document it here. If length is negative, it draws refraction. Okay, so make it better documentation. Okay, so that is that. But now, what else do you need to do? So you map thread. So those are constants. Okay, so those are like constants. Sine. Now wait, the sine is only used once, so we don't need it there. Now I'm trying to remove the length because I don't want the length. You see, because this function it gives you the so essentially it gives you actually 2 lines. What it really should do is just the reflection line, not the 2 lines. Hello, MHD and A. So you see, this is about function design. So this function right now is drawing the lines both from the origin to the curve and the reflected portion. Okay. But what you want is you see, you might want to separate them because basically the important part is just this part, ray origin. So now this is the function. Now let me do a more tricky things. Okay, so copy that. So let's rewrite the code. Now this is about wolfram language. We rewrite the code in a different syntax. Right now you see this ampersand. That means it's you got a function, you got a pure function there, so-called pure function, which means lambda. The ampersand means this is a function, okay, which is this part, okay. That's a postfix notation, ampersand. Now those pound sign, those are arguments. So in this code, it's a function lambda, and whenever the pound 1 occur, the number sign 1 occur, that means the first argument. So that's the first argument, you see. And whenever pound sign 2 occur, that's the second argument, okay. So this is like a special notation. Now let's change that to something kind of more intuitive, okay. So let's write fun and let's write this way, remove the ampersand. Okay, so now we have a function, and we want arg1, arg2. So let's say AABB. Okay, 2 arguments. Okay, so now replace all pound sign 1 by AA. That's the first argument. Okay, and replace pound sign 2 by BB. Okay, cosine 2 by BB. Do it. Okay, so only one occurrence. Okay, so this code and this code are equivalent. They are purely equivalent because Wolfram language, they will turn one into the other to the, to full form before it actually do any computation. So these two are exactly equivalent. Okay, so let's use this one. Okay, because now let me ask you guys a question. Which one do you think is more intuitive? Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer, this is a function, that, or that? You see, we are mapping a function using map thread. The first argument is a function here or here, and we map it to two lists. So map thread is like in Python, you map plus a zip. It allows you to map a function of two arguments to two lists in parallel, kind of. Okay. So anyway, so do you guys prefer the shortcut, the lambda notation, the ampersand, say ampersand notation, or the full function notation? So tell me that. Okay. So hello, Xah, how are you? I'm good, thank you, guys. Colonial. So can you tell us your opinion and experience on Windows 11? Greetings from Brazil. Okay, that is a frequently asked question to death. Windows, which operating system? Okay, Windows. Okay, so let me give you 2 minutes reply. I promise it's not gonna be 1 hour rant, because every time people ask me that, I started to talk about. So Windows today sucks. Windows was best in 1999, Windows NT, around there. Okay, Windows NT, 1998, 99. And around 2005, Windows Vista and Windows 7, 8, something like that. That's the best time, the best Windows. Okay, Windows XP, and then Vista, something. That's the best. Just among the Windows versions, that's the best Windows. Windows NT, 1999, then Windows XP and Vista, around 2004 to 2008, something like that. Okay, or 2010. Today, since Windows 10 sucks donkey ass, they become flat. Lots of problems. Okay, like I have lots of articles about that. Okay, go to xah.info. Okay, let me quickly show. Okay, this is beginning to become a rant. Is Windows sucks. Okay, so you go to search for not this one. Okay, I have like 20 articles. This one, Microsoft Windows flaws. When did I rename it flaws? There's a titling issue, whether should it be sucks or flaw. You can't find it. Anyway, so search the web, you'll find my website, Microsoft Windows sucks or Microsoft Windows flaws. There are about how many articles are there? Okay. How many articles? Let's say LI. Okay, so how many LI? Okay, there are about 50 articles on why Windows sucks. Everything in detail, full detail documentation, why it sucks. For example, this one, Windows 10, beginning 5 years ago. Oh, we created Windows 10, the pretty boys, fuckheads. They go on stage, they are cool. They tell you we designed Windows 10, Metro design, whatever, fuck. But when you actually use it, it's like you can't tell which window begins, which window ends. It's like confusing fuck. No borders and shadow is not done well. So it's basically, it just sucks. Okay, unusable. Windows 10, the flat shit. Okay, that's one article. Then there's dark theme problem. Oh, we started to do dark theme. Dark theme. The beautiful fuck their ass. They say they got dark theme. Okay, I talked about this many times. So, for example, I wrote this program, so you can search it, you'll find it. Okay, Xah toggle dark theme. Okay, so you see that's PowerShell. Run it, and what? Then my whole system become using dark theme. Okay, you see the browser is also dark. Now toggle it back. Wait, I don't want that. Okay, now they are back to white theme. Okay, and I have like 10 articles about dark theme. Is it good for you? Is it really good for you? What does science say? And how do you do it in cascading style sheet? So search my website, Xah Info, you'll find like 5 articles about dark theme itself. Okay. Anyway, so one of the window problem is that it says it got dark theme, but not really. Like, okay, dark theme. Then you go to, okay, let's open the preference. Okay, dark, very good. Then you go to like there's tons of shit that's just not dark, like frequency. Okay, let me show you. Let's go to disk management. What the fuck is this? Didn't you say you have dark theme? What the fuck is this? Fuck Microsoft. Okay, it turned, it's like not just this window, so many all over the place. That's a situation with Windows. Fuck them. Like, oh, this is built-in application. This is not random. There's so many more. Okay, so many more. Let's go to this manager. Let's event viewers. Okay, fuck their ass. Didn't you say you have dark theme? No, not really. Okay, so I showed, so this is a problem of dark theme. Windows, it just sucks, inconsistent, everywhere. That's 2 problems, okay? Flat design, flat fuck, and dark theme fuck, dark their ass. Then tiny font, okay? Like today you have Windows, they say, oh, by the way, we are so advanced, you can change the font size system-wide. Not really, because, like just like before, I increase, for example, I already increased my system-wide font because I'm getting old. I need bigger font, right? I already increased system-wide. But over here, some of these special application, they don't change size. It's impossible to read this tiny text. You see, you can't, so this is event viewer, which is critical in Windows. It, basically allows you to tell you like what's going on in your system. You can magnify, like in this window, you can magnify, but as soon as you switch to other, they become small again. The fucking unusable fuck. Do you guys know what I'm saying? Okay, I talked about this, many times. So anyway, so back to the why Windows sucks. Okay, so I explained this. So if you tell your friends to watch my video and share my links, okay, because I explained it so many times. Okay, I'm gonna stop very soon. Okay, two more minutes. So then the problem does not stop there. Tiny font, dark theme problem, flat design problem, taskbar problem, lots of problems. Okay, I won't go into detail now, but then there is this Windows word clock. Where is New York? New York is in South America. New York is where Peru is at. See. Where is Cologne, Germany? Oh, it's in South Africa. You see, this is Windows application. Can it possibly be more stupid? Like some fucking idiots How is this even possible? The Microsoft huge giant corporation, this application word clock, by the way, they fixed it. Okay, so let me show you. Okay, they fixed it like a few years ago. So now they anyway. So you see, this is part of Windows application 2021. Okay, they show this incredible. This is beyond understanding. Now, when Microsoft is a huge $1 billion corporation, right? They have testers. They have like in fact they probably pay millions of dollars. They spend millions on just testing to make sure whatever change they create on Windows still works, right? But you have you got then you have situation like this. This is not forgivable. It's not possible for anyone not to see this. Like London appears in Cologne, Germany appears in South Africa, in Africa. I mean, in Africa continent. And the Moscow appears in South Pole. Moscow appear in South Pole. Can you see that? It's impossible. Okay. You see, this is very, so if you ask me what's going on, something very dark is going on. Okay. This is not like normal. And this is not, I mean, it cannot even be possibly intentional mistake. It cannot be something, it must be something very dark. Okay. That this is verging onto politics. I'm telling you, so there's something very dark, deep state going on. Okay, that's when these kind of things start to happen. You ask me about what I think about Windows 11. Okay, well, I haven't got to 11 yet. All these are Windows 10. Windows 11 did not improve much of it. Same shit, all this still applies Windows 11. So anyway, and so there are many more problems on Windows. Okay, since Windows 10, it's the worst shit. Okay, because so why is it so bad? Well, and Microsoft, are they stupid? Stupid? No, they pay billions to these very smart programmers there. Something is wrong. Okay, like there's some dark thing going on. Okay, so it's not about, oh, maybe they didn't think about it or they made a mistake. No, there's something very dark going on. Part of this is intentional. And they don't care because the Windows by now it's so saturated. It doesn't improve, you can improve it or it sucks, doesn't matter. They will still have the same number of people using Windows. Because they sell it, by pre-install on machines, and also USA government is very much supporting this because Microsoft is USA. Bill Gates is another very dark story. Okay, so it's all kind of connected. So why don't they improve it? Well, they don't need to. You still gonna use it. Okay, that's a situation for most people anyway. Part of the reason is because the Linux fuckheads, the Linux people are idiots. They are brainless. That's why, because if they are smart, the open source fuckheads, if they are smart, Windows will be dead. Why? Because you got a free, such much better and free operating system. Why would anyone use Windows? They would be dead long ago. But the Linux people turned out they are just idiots. The open source babbling, okay, including lots of you guys. The open source Linux, fuckheads. Linux got lots of other problems in design too. Okay. So anyway, you asked me about what I think about Windows 11. Okay, so these are the problems of Windows 10 and Windows 11. There are 52 articles. Okay, it sucks. Okay, that's about it. Okay, so as far as operating system goes, Unix or Linux and Mac, the story is pretty much turns out to be the same for the past 30 years. Okay. If you want really the best experience, the best design, the best one is Apple. Okay. Apple, Mac. It's getting worse since Steve Jobs died some 15 years ago. Okay. But still, today, Apple is by far the better between Windows, Mac, or Linux. Okay, so you can use Apple. The problem with Apple is that, of course, it's twice as expensive. You have to pay, pay to play. Everything you buy, even the mouse, same mouse. When it's for Apple, exactly the same mouse. When they sell it for the Apple customers, it's like twice as expensive. So Apple, and if you want something average usable, is Windows. Okay, it's pretty bad, but if you want something incomprehensible, you have to be a nerd. You have to be a fucking idiot, like a nerd. You have to spend 1 year diddling about, what is the kernel, what is memory, what is programming language. The fuckheads, I despise them so much. And Emacs Vim, if you are this type of people, these fuckheads, Linux people, yeah, you have to spend 1 year, 2 years, 3 years to understand and to understand what is distro, Linux distro. I like Arch Linux. I think this one or the GNOME versus whatever fuckheads. Okay, so then Linux is for you. You don't care about you are a nerd. You are an outcast of society already. You are the little minority, like 1 in 10,000, 1 in a million. Like people don't care about shit about you fuckheads. You just know about computers. You can't socialize. You don't understand nothing. Then Linux is for you, and it's free. You open source fuckheads. Okay, that's my summary. The best operating system, Apple. Okay, but you pay twice, and it's actually also the most secure. On Windows, it sucks donkey ass, but it's kind of usable and kind of free, kind of. And then Microsoft, they get into your pants. They they then if you want like you are into freedom and you don't mind, you are a nerd, you don't know nothing except computers, then Linux is the best. Okay, so I want to tell you guys, because I know a lot of people is gonna tell me, most of my readers are the Linux open source type of people. They're gonna tell you, son, you need to use this or that. Oh, by the way, deep state, whatever. Fuck them. Don't give a shit about the Linux and open source. Okay, I didn't plan to rant, but I did. So, am I going to back to coding wolfram language? Okay, so actually we did well today, but that became a rant. Okay, so is there any comment on wolfram language? So RK19, did I answer your question? I think I spent 20 minutes, or was it 10 minutes, answer your question. Did I? You need to say, you need to respond, okay? Greetings from Brazil. Now, MH, you said my name, which means you are really live. Some people are saying you died. Pre-recorded, which got me upset. Who said that? Who said that? Fucking stupid people. I am team functional notation. Fantastic. Emacs is the best operating system. Function notation, team function notation, which mean what do you mean? You mean like the ampersand. Colonial, you mean the ampersand. Okay, let's get back to this. Okay, so Yeah, God, we went into a rant. Let's get back to this. Okay. Actually, we've been doing this for 1 hour already. Okay, so, well, let's continue. Okay, we got like some people, we got 9 people here. Okay, so we got this version. I don't want this version because the function version is more readable. Okay, so AA is the okay, X point. Okay, 10 vec. Okay, let's change the name. So AA, change it to X point. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Okay, and BB, change it to 10 vector. Okay, so there, I hope it's more readable. Okay, and haters are saying, I guess so, fake news after all. Yeah, that's kind of strange. I mean, that's not just strange, but that's kind of like I think that's a joke. You know, like I know a lot of people on 4chan read. You know, they read me and post my stuff, and so those are kind of the type of things from 4chan. But even on 4chan, I mean, who would say that? Okay, so because that's very silly, because for anyone who watch my live stream, they would know almost I do it every day, you know, live stream. You can tell right away it's not pre-recorded. Anyway, so we got this okay, so we kind of broke our thought flow. We need to get back to this shit, not good. Because, you know, as far as this code goes, let's put it back. Syntax correct, showing browser. Oh, we are still in dark theme. So let's put it back. So this code, as far as this code, we already talked for 1 hour, but we really haven't started to actually make it the way I want. So it would be another hour to finish it. Okay, so that's maybe I should stop. You know, yeah, because then I just gonna work offline. This code is like most people wouldn't understand it unless you are wolfram coder. Yeah, so you see we got 2 versions. Previously it looks like that. Now we have it like that. Yeah, we improved it. We improved it a little bit. Okay, so you see, yeah, so here is a previous version. Actually, that involves, you know, the earliest version actually involves another if statement. So there's actually another version before this. We already deleted. So we made, you know, some improvements. Okay, but there's much more to go. We need to combine this into just, you know, just like one single code block, and, you know, without having these separate functions, so that people can simply define a curve, you know, give a parametric equation for any curve and specify the light source, and they can plot this caustics. Okay, Yeah. So I guess I'm gonna walk offline. Yeah, needs more work to do. Okay, anything else? So MHD, where did you see that comment? Is it on 4chan or is it somewhere else? Or did you just made it up? Yeah, so there is actually a lot to do. I'm wondering what should I do now? Do I continue to work on this or do I just stop? So this code, God, there's a lot of things to think about. You have a very dark view about the world. Whenever I listen to your rants, I get that feeling. Yes, that's true. Do you think the world is dark? You know, I can tell you why exactly. It's because I have a lot of hatred in me. And why do I have this hatred? This hatred you wouldn't understand, okay? This hatred, actually I'm telling you something very personal. And I'm not sure if you are ready for it, okay? So I have this hatred, and that is within me very deep since I was teens. And the degree of the hatred, you wouldn't know, but most American, they would say, let's call it, post-stress syndrome. Some, like the white Americans, they talk about these things. Post-stress syndrome, okay? Something like this PDSP something, okay? Post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, okay? Which is something the white American idiots, they love to talk about. They chant about this thing, PTSD. 10 years ago or 20 years ago, it was women, the feminism era. The women, they the white people, they chant about rape every day. Rape this or that. Is that rape or is that not? They love to talk about this. So, before it was women saying that, this they all have PTSD because they got raped, date rape, or then like you have to go to a doctor to see a psychotherapist. Then they reminded you, oh, by the way, your dad raped you. Did you know that? The fucking Americans, white Americans doing this in the past 20 years. That's when the rise of the social justice warriors. Okay. Now, then after that, then you got the other, then you got, okay, so PTSD, usually, you, for example, soldiers, you got traumatic experience soldiers and others, okay? Anyway, The reason I'm mentioning this PTSD is so that you understand kind of my my trauma, my kind of my mentality, my situation. Okay, now why do I have this hate, like this deep hatred? Why do I have that? Because, well, because my family, because my dad, because my upbringing. Okay, so from California American point of view, my family is, it's like one of those problematic families. Okay, so technically speaking, I do have, as far as I know, I have this some kind of this post-traumatic stress disorder. And so my view of the world, I want it to be very successful. I want to be very ambitious. Meanwhile, so there's full of views of hatred or injustice in the world, that kind of thing. Okay, so it's, and it is not normal and not healthy. So many of my views, I can understand. It's a bit, it's not normal. It's, it's like a perspective, but not necessarily healthy. Not necessarily incorrect, but when you view things in a negative way, that may not be so good. Okay, I understand that. So anyway, that answers your question. Why do you have like a very dark view about the world? That is why, because I have hatred. Okay, that's what I would call it. Okay, I think that's it. Anything else? Okay, does that answer your question? So actually, this session is supposed to be like pure professional coding on wolfram language. Wow. Okay, I think that's it. Bye, guys. We shut down in 2 minutes.